I have one hair that's just, what is it doing? Hi, welcome back. My name is Dana. This is a channel all about skincare, makeup, sunscreen, otherwise known as SMS. Most of the newer, younger people probably don't know what an SMS is. So I was creating that little catchphrase in my head the other day. And I was like, I know what an SMS is, but will anyone else know? If you don't know, it's what a text used to be. So you would send an SMS, but that's neither here nor there. I'm filming today because today is Friday, what is it, February the 25th? And if you are living under a rock and you don't know, there's a lot going on in the world, especially in Ukraine and Russia. And if you have not been following me over on Instagram, you might not know, because I don't know, I guess I've talked about it here on YouTube. But I lived in Ukraine for 2 years back in 2006 to 2008. I taught English there, I lived, I worked, I basically grew up because I was about 23, 24 when I moved there. And it was just such a monumental, pivotal, whatever you want to call it. It was the time of my life where I became who I am now. And I learned so much about myself and about other people, and just, I could go on and on. So needless to say, I'm very upset and very heartbroken for the people. I don't care about the governments. Government, no matter where you are, I hate to say it, but it's not the same. People are the ones that matter. We're all the same at the end of the day. People just want to live, they want to have their families, they want to love, work, eat, sleep, play, all these things. That doesn't change regardless of what country and nationality you are. And I think, the people that are in power always forget that. And the biggest shame, because the people are the ones that end up getting hurt. So this is not political. I'm just fearful and worried about my friends that still live there. So I'm going to film today because otherwise I would just be sitting on my phone, doom scrolling, reading the news nonstop, and that's not good for anyone. So I'm gonna film, and I came up with this idea the other day because I did one sunscreen base and my face was so glowy, it looked so pretty. And then I was like, I wanna show people that it all, your makeup depends on your base. If you don't have a good base of skincare or sunscreen or whatever, and you're not happy with the makeup on top, there's a good likelihood that you can just change underneath and you'll like it. Not always the case, but for a lot of people that is the case. And it also makes it so much more fun, because if you have a product that you find to be too matte, like a foundation or a tint, you can just make it more dewy by adding the right sunscreen underneath, or skincare. So on one half of my face, I'm going to be using a very dewy, glowy sunscreen moisturizer, and on the other side, a matte one. And I'm going to put the same foundation over both sides just to highlight the differences. And hopefully I don't actually think I have any video calls today, so that should work out, because if I look crazy, no one will know. All right, let's jump in. It might fall out, but that's what we've got. All right, let's start with the dewy sunscreen. This is the Hello Sunday, the everyday one. I will link the video that I just put out on these above. This one is super, super moisturizing. It really just comes out like a moisturizer. And if you are looking for something that's super easy to put on and also has is gonna give you a dewy base, this is a good option. Now, I think you're gonna have an easier time finding things to kind of give you moisture and dew and shine underneath your makeup versus the other side, the matte side. Not to say that it's impossible at all. There are plenty of matte products, but I just find that, especially I think this day and age, people are into the glow, so it's not gonna be hard. We all know how to make a dewy base, don't we? All right, I'm gonna finish this up. I'll speed through this and then we'll do the other side. All right, and for the other side, we have the Black Girl Sunscreen Make It Matte. I have a review on this. I'm not sure if it will be up yet or not, but I railed on this product before because they had this weird top that broke. I had to return the actual product to the store because I couldn't close it. And I also didn't really love the product, but they've since changed the top, and they've also, I don't know if they mentioned it, but I feel like they changed the formula, because before it felt very kind of greasy. It still does set down matte, you can see that, but before it felt way greasier than this. and I just felt like it kind of sat on top of my skin, which is not something I like, especially like for a matte formula. If you have a matte formula, you just want it to kind of control the shine and to soak in and absorb. So I do think that they changed it, but I'm not, I don't have any proof of that. I always use any extra that I have just for my neck. And I know I should do a better job of putting sunscreen on my neck. Don't tell me, I know, I already know. So with the Black Girl sunscreen, the matte one, if you see like a little bit of shine on it, what I do is I give it a few minutes and just kind of let it sit there, and then I rub it in. It's just because I probably put too much, but I do find that it does soak in better, but sometimes it needs just a little bit of help. So I'm gonna give it 5 minutes and then we'll come back and start the makeup part. Whoa, up close and personal now. I think you can see the difference in sides. This is the matte side, of course, and this is the glowy side. Especially under the lights, the glowy side is glowy. I had Chick-fil-A for breakfast this morning because I did not eat yesterday. I was starving when I woke up and I was like, I'm not making food for myself. And I just had a crumb on my mouth. I'm looking a little rough today. Anyway, oh no, I forgot. It's okay, it's kind of damp. You know what? I'm gonna pause and dampen this sponge because I've been using this and loving it with the product I'm about to put on, and I feel like it just needs to be a little more damp. All right, dampened sponge. By the way, this sponge is from Amazon. And I bought it because I don't like light colored or even pink sponges because I find that like they just get so disgusting. So I know this is gonna get disgusting, but like if I can't see it, then it doesn't exist, right? Anyway, it'll be in my favorites this month because I've been loving it. Also, it's like so much cheaper. I cannot believe how much money I spent on this beauty blender, but okay, focus, Dana, focus. So I am using the Fenty Ease Drops. I have not used these in so long, but when I was thinking of this idea, I was thinking actually I've been using them all week because of this, but I wanted something that is a little bit more matte or like maybe natural finish versus one of the ones that I have that are super glowy, because that, you can make this glowy. It's a lot harder to make an already glowy foundation matte, if you get what I mean. But I would say go for something maybe like more natural finish or a little bit more matte. I haven't attempted this with a glowy one, but that would be a very good, thing to try. So I'm gonna try, my band's telling me stuff. I'm gonna be applying it just with a sponge all over my face. There's nothing crazy about this, so I'm just gonna speed through this process and then show you what it looks like. Also, this sponge is so big. Like, I know the Beauty Blender gets bigger, but this one is amazing. It's also so squishy. Is this a video for a sponge or for foundation, makeup, sunscreen? We'll never know. Okay, I'm gonna switch sides just in case I get, any of the matte sunscreen. I don't want that to affect it, so we'll do the back side. I don't know if that's the back side or the front side. Who knows? And it looks like I'm putting a lot on, but like I'm only putting just kind of a small dab, and I kind of do it in layers. But whatever technique you want, you could use a brush, you could use your hands. I've just been into the sponge lately, which is quite different because I used to use my hands all the time, but I love how it goes on with the sponge. That is the finished look. So it does look a little bit more shiny in the lights, and it's not that this side is completely matte. This side is obviously quite glowy, but I do have some nice shine from this side, and that's mainly just because of this. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna powder and I'm gonna finish my makeup. I'm gonna do that off camera, and then I'll come back and just kind of let you see. And when I say powder, I don't necessarily set my face, but there are areas that I don't want my whole face to be shiny. The whole point of a glowy face is obviously you want to have a glow, but if you look like you're just sweating, that's not necessarily ideal. So I will powder a little under my eye and my T-zone. That's usually where I do build up some oils throughout the day, but I'm not gonna overly powder, so don't worry about that. And then we'll come back, check in. All right, so we are all finished, and I'm gonna take a look in my little mirror here and see what we see. So as I said, I use the Fenty Ease Drops because I find that the finish on that is the most kind of malleable. You can make it glowy, you can make it matte. And right now my face is looking a little bit more glowy on this side than I was expecting. But part of it might be that like doing side by side is always a little tricky. But if I did my whole face, I feel like it would show up a little bit more. But it might also be under these lights because I did try one day with just this and then one day with the Black Girl sunscreen, and I noticed a very noticeable difference. So I'm gonna just kind of wait and see it in natural light. And we're gonna be doing check-ins throughout the day because I want to show you how it wears. That's more important than how it looks right now. I also used a blush from LYS that it says it's the matte cream blush, so it shouldn't be as glowy as it maybe looks on camera, but that's just the nature of the beast. I still do see like a bit more of a matte finish up there. And again, I really think it's the lights that are kind of highlighting how glowy it looks right now. Because in my camera, or this is not my camera, in my mirror, I am seeing a lot less of a glow on this side of my face. So, yeah, it looks super good though. I forgot, the Fenty Ease Drops are pretty good, aren't they? All right, let's zoom out. Also, I'm wearing my hair kind of curly-ish. It was so knotty and gross the last like 2 days. And the beauty about when you wear it like curly, natural, is that all I do is wet it and put a little bit of cream in and it's like I showered, but I didn't. Anyway, and you can't even see it because I'm wearing a black sweatshirt, so it's like all one thing. But I'm getting very distracted here. I just wanted to say that yes, I'm gonna check in. It's a very gloomy day out, so I think it's gonna be a very good day to kind of see the differences as the day progresses. I don't usually touch up, I don't like powder or anything, unless it gets really out of control and I have to be on the camera, like on video. But today should be okay, so I think it's looking nice. I think this blush, it is shiny. It's not matte, like it says satin matte, that's why. So I don't know if I have a matte blush. So I should have tried to look for one and use it because this does give it a little bit more glow, but it's not terrible. And maybe it'll wear away throughout the day. We'll see. I'm blabbering. Let's do check-ins. Let's see how it goes today. Hello friends. I don't know what this is, but it's 4 hours later and I wanted to show you what it's looking like. So let's zoom on it. So this is in natural lighting. I have no artificial lights. I have the window in front of me. I was gonna say behind. So, and it is kind of like shifting light, but I want you to see kind of the difference in the areas that don't have the blush. So these areas have a little bit more of a sheen just because of the blush. But if you see the rest of my face, this side really just looks, especially down here and here, it looks a little bit more matte. Like, can you see the, a little bit of the shine under my eye? This is the glowy base side, this is the matte side. It's not super noticeable at the moment, but it is, if I were to do my full face in the matte sunscreen, I think you would see the difference. I can always add more shine to it, and even with the Fenty foundation, it did give it a little bit of a glow, but nothing compared to what this side looks like. You see that? Like, it's subtle, but it is there. Okay, so we're in natural, no, this is not natural lighting, studio lighting. And again, the blush is kind of throwing it off and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just like not worn blush. But I do see like less of my pores in this area. It's just gonna be like, if you do have more oily skin, your oils might seep through by the end of the day, but it does have a difference. And the whole point of this video is to like, not to say like one is better than the other. It's just to get the idea in your head that depending on the base that you do, be it skincare or sunscreen or a mix of the two, you can kind of manipulate your makeup and get it to be whatever you want it. So for me, in the summertime, I would definitely use a matte sunscreen because I don't need more glow. It's like 100% humidity here and 100 degrees. Whereas in the winter, I like this glow, obviously. But I like a glow in the summer too. So anyway, I just hope this gives you ideas. I hope it inspires you. It's not meant to be like this is the truth and nothing else can be true. It's just supposed to kind of get your creativity flowing and inspire you to try different combinations. So I hope that inspired you. I hope it helped. And I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, bye.